after last week's game?
Yes. I saw it in practice. The way they come back, you can tell the look in their eye. And, but there was still doubt, so they had to get out there in the game and experience it and fight through. And, that game, the way that went, started off, we made a couple mistakes. Should have scored some points early. Great job by BYU. We got some field goals, had some touchdowns, had some, not very smart penalties down there. They get back in it, got the momentum at halftime. Feel good about it. Our kids, you come in there and feel sorry for yourself, and you can line back up and take control of the line of scrimmage in the second half, and that's what we were able to do, I think, on the defensive line and the offensive line. And we were able to eat clock, keep the ball, play hard, convert on third down. Christian, those backs ran like gangbusters. Christian just converting third. Christian being Christian, competing tough as nails. Our defense making plays. It was just, they had character. They had character and they had pride. They played with it.
Jimbo, what went into your decision to get Chris Thompson in there? Was Jermaine just really not real effective?
No, we're going to rotate. We're going to play all three guys. We've always said that. Jermaine was playing, and Ty was playing, and Chris was playing, and Chris got in, got hot, and made some plays. I've said that all the time. We've got three quality guys that we feel good about. And Lonnie, too, can come back there. We got some, and we're going to play them. And we're going to give them all opportunities to play, keep them fresh in that fourth quarter, and he made big plays, so he took advantage of it. Jermaine played well. There's nothing Jermaine did poorly. And we've got three good players.
How big was the first part of that second half? You get a 3 and out, and then you guys...
That's what we challenge them to. We want to have a great kickoff, hit them on the 20, get a 3 and out, get the momentum of the ball game back, get down and take a drive, get up. That was our whole goal. That's what we challenged them at halftime. And control both lines of scrimmage. And our defensive line and offensive line, I thought, was able to do that in the football.
What kind
of game? But that's big for the season, right?
It's huge for the season. Yeah. I told you. It was how they were going to respond. Like I said in that game last week, that team didn't quit. And our team is learning to fight through adversity, fight through ups and downs. And that's football. When you play good football and you play in good leagues, and what we're playing, the competition we're playing, it ain't all going to be rosy. You're going to have mistakes. You're going to have things happen. But they kept their poise, they kept fighting, they kept competing, and they learned something from last week. We took away some lessons from last week. And like I said before, Oklahoma beat us. They didn't break us. I don't mean that in any disrespect. Oklahoma's a great football team. But our kids' spirit was there. And they believed in each other, and they had fun.
What kind of adjustments did you guys make defensively after halftime? Because it seemed like the end of the second quarter they did pretty well.
I think they got the momentum of the game. They lost. They made a couple of runs, and we tweaked some things, how we're going, their motion packages, and how we were going to change some coverages and get some box support, because they were getting a guy out of the box. So we tweaked some things there and changed the coverage up on them and got an extra guy down in the box when we had to. And they got control, but then got control of the line of scrimmage and stayed ahead of the down and distance. And the other thing is, a big play in that game, and it's the one time Justin didn't kick it out of the end zone. We're up 13-0 and got the momentum, and he kicks one out and gets him to the 40. I keep saying it's field position on special teams. How you call plays when you're out there can be different. All of a sudden you pop a run, now you're in scoring range. Then we got a late hit, and they score points, and they got the momentum. We missed a third and come back and miss a 3rd and 2. In momentum of games. I don't know if it was anything adjustment. We made some adjustments, but you lost. Momentum goes back and forth, like in a boxing match. You get hit, you hit them. And, they hit us good. We recovered. And then battle back. And they're a well-coached, good football team.
Jim, next week you guys start your ACC competition.
Season begins.
Is this offense where it needs to be now, or is it?
No.
What needs to happen?
We need to improve our passing game a little bit. I think we need to get crisper in our passing game. Still improve it. We had a couple penalties that we need to get cleaned up. But be precise in our passing game a little bit more and be better protected. We had a chance to hit some big plays today, and we had some protection issues. Break down. We had a couple of guys were breaking wide open. Christian got hit, and even on some third down plays, he got up there and did that. Our line did a great job. We got to help out in some pass pro situations. But we had a new tackle. Henry Arillis did a good job stepping in there as a freshman and playing. And like I said, during camp, and you're all worried about it. I said that might win us a game or two. And his ability to go in there and play with the ones during camp and get used to it, and understand the level of play you have to have. I thought he did a great job.
What happened with Daco? What's his status?
Shoulder.
Same thing.
They just strengthen it right now, and we'll reevaluate this week and see. And we thought we were good. I got the news on Friday.
Right.
Just the strength wasn't coming back in like it had been, and just wasn't worth the risk of him trying to damage something as good a player as he is in the future he's got.
Can you talk a little bit more about the defense? Because other than those 2 drives at the end of the first half, I don't think they had more than 80 yards of total offense.
Played lights out, got turnovers, created pass rush against a team that usually pass protects very, very well. A lot of those, 2 reasons. We got pass rush because they beat them. Then we got pass rush because we covered them. There's 2 ways of doing that. We did a good job of confusing looks in the secondary, not letting guys get open and have quick throws. And I thought they did a really good job. Our defense, you got to understand something. I talk about confidence all the time. Well, Oklahoma got some confidence and shook our guys a little bit, like I said. But them to come back and battle and play, character. There's a lot of very good football players on that defense, like I said. And that don't now. Am I saying we're the Pittsburgh Steelers of the 70s? No. We had one game. Now we got to learn to do it again. We'll have a great opponent next week in Wake Forest.
So Greg and those guys can't tackle.
Told you. Sometimes the momentum of the game, you get good players. I mean, the sky's not always falling. And we're not ready to win the Super Bowl either. So, I mean, we're somewhere in between right now. So we got to get better every week with one football game. Now we have to prepare to win another.
Especially in the second half.
They really did. We started winning the battles up front. And that's, when you can win the line of scrimmage on both sides, that's what football's won and lost.
You talk about the way Ty ran today.
Oh, Ty and Chris, I mean, they did phenomenal. I mean, they were running and playing and breaking tackles. And I mean, that big third down run in the fourth quarter, that 3rd and 16, he broke out there and made it. You know, then we got that daggone home play. He made a great run down there. We had about the 4 or 5 yard line. We were going in again and got that holding call down and we missed that field goal. But, you know, he was phenomenal. Blocked well, ran well, balance, power, speed. I mean, you know, he did a great job.
So, it looks like your passing game just having a hard time getting going.
But we had protection. We had 2 big plays. We had tight end right down the seam right there. Bars was going to catch one that first drive of the second half for maybe a touchdown or a big one. And got hit. You know what I mean? Had a couple protection issues where we were breaking down a little bit. But they're a different team in that the way they play 8-man fronts and the way their secondaries line up, I told you going in. The teams that have been successful against them, the teams, you know, you have to run the football. They make you because there's so many, that 30 stuff, there's so many multiple looks in the secondary and what they do. They can create some tough matchups right there. We dropped a couple balls early too. And we just got to get crisper. I said we're not close where we need to be in the passing game, throwing it or protecting it.
You were pretty animated on the no call in the first half.
Yeah,
Bert Reed, that looked like they
ripped his helmet off. And I know they didn't make a mistake, but we got called on 4 of them in the last 2 weeks when we put our hands above somebody's shoulder pad. They ripped his helmet off. And we're right down there ready to score to make a play. I mean, listen, they all missed the calls, but when they miss them, I'm going to let them know. It's not personal. It's just our kids. I'm going to battle and scratch and fight for our kids too. I mean, and that was just somebody. We got to bring emotion. You come to this game. You got to want to win. You can't be scared to win. We're going to. That's one thing I said. We're going to compete.
You talked earlier about Orleans playing. Is he pretty sound?
Oh, he did a great job. I mean, we're over on the sideline making corrections. His name didn't come up very often. It was some of the other guys that been in there. So we'll look at the film and evaluate that. I mean, to get through and score that points against a good team like that, we got there in his first start. You find out on Friday, don't even know, which might be the best thing. You have to worry about it all week. But he practiced with the ones all the way through. It's pretty good. Oh, that's huge. I was extremely proud. That was a way to step up, like I say. And Daco's a great player, but that's what happens. People get injured. Other people take advantage of an opportunity.
People have been talking about Halstead all week and making catches. That was a pretty big catch he made in the second half.
Great, though. They played it. We tried to get him matched up. We had it a couple times, and Christian did a great job. They were running. He threw it on the back shoulder. Willie got his body up, went up with great size, used his hand. That was a big play. I mean, that was a big play, and that's the thing. Willie can do that. Willie can do that. Did a good job up for tackling. Makes some nice big hits from what I can see on that end of it, and played solidly.
Talking about Xavier Rhodes, his first half.
He was playing his tail off. I didn't even realize he got hurt until they come over and told me there. And he got something like that. I don't think it's anything major. We're just going to keep him out for a while. We'll see. But, you know, can't say much about Marcus Jordan stepping in there, Michael Harris stepping in there, Greg Reed stepped in there. I mean, all young guys. But Xavier Rhodes was playing phenomenal. Tackling, physical. I mean, those guys all can play. I mean, they all can play.
When did you have a good feeling that there wasn't any hangover from Oklahoma today?
You know, the way they come out in the first quarter, I don't think it was a hangover. I was disappointed how sloppy it was to fumble in that time down there. But probably in the second quarter, I could start to tell, you know what I mean, that we were still competing in the game. And at halftime, I liked the energy level at halftime. We come in at halftime and, you know, and challenged them. I was very interested to see how, not that we would come out and fight. I knew we would do that. But then you get the momentum and then get, for young guys to get knocked back again and them to get the momentum and have the ball, how we were going to accept the challenge of coming out in the second half. You know what I mean? And the look in the locker room and the eyes, I felt good coming out. Now, I didn't know we'd go out and play as well as we did, but I think that was huge because that was another thing, not off the Oklahoma game, but within the same game of how to learn a lesson that we learned at Oklahoma. When that team gets hot and recovers, that you can still fight back and come back.